All right, my name is Iman. I am currently attending UCLA. I'm a second year there studying psychology. I've been playing volleyball since I was 10, 11 years old. And yeah.
Oh, wow, wow. You know, that's that's pretty interesting because I had a couple Olympians on the show,
Mhm.
and one was Olympic long jumper, the other was an Olympic sprinter. And it's funny, they started track and field, their main sport, at a later age. But you've been doing volleyball pretty much since you were only, you said, 10 years old?
Yeah, basically.
Nice. So now, was volleyball your first sport, or was it like soccer, aka football, or something else?
Mhm. So I started playing basketball because my dad kind of put me in it. I didn't really like it though because I was like being coached by him. So I was like, you know what? My sister's playing volleyball. This looks fun. And I started it out. I liked it. So I kept playing that.
Excellent, excellent. I know for me, I came to the United States when I was almost 6 years old. This is 1987. My family came from Ghana in West Africa. Now, what age were you when you moved to France? Were you born in Paris, France?
I was born in France and I moved to the United States when I was 4. My family's from Senegal.
Okay, Dakar or Saint Louis or
Yeah, Dakar. Yeah.
okay, okay. Shout outs to Senegal. Some of our
Yes.
viewers are actually Senegalese, so shout out to
Oh,
Senegal.
yes. Let's go.
Now, Iman, so share with our viewers like what your experience was as far as being a student athlete in high school.
Mhm. Well, being a student athlete in high school is has prepared me to handle like academics and your sport. Um, of course, it got challenging because you're always in season because we basically volleyball season goes high school season, which is in fall, and then you have club season, which starts November through summer. So
Oh,
your schedule is pretty much packed the whole year. Um, it was a little bit challenging, but I was able to manage that just by being organized. But yeah, it was a lot of fun playing for your school.
what would you say was the biggest difference, like literally like your first couple games at UCLA compared to high school?
Hmm. The speed was a lot faster. The players were bigger, faster, stronger, so they hit the ball harder. Um, but yeah, it was exciting. At first, I was really nervous, but we didn't have fans when I first played my first game at UCLA, so that took away a little bit of the nerves. But it's also broadcasted on television, so that's a huge difference, I think, too.
And did you have when the COVID pandemic started, did you guys go like a season without volleyball? How was that like?
So we didn't know if we were able to report to campus to play this in that COVID season. So we were just training, wasn't sure if we would have a season. And then they ended up moving our season because usually we play in the fall. And they started it in winter. So they had shifted all the seasons from January through like May. And so that changed. All the sports were going at once. But yeah, we were lucky to even have a season.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I was getting DMs from some of the student athletes to view the show on the high school level. They were worried about getting not being able to get scholarship offers from colleges because they didn't have any game tape because they had like a whole high school season,
Right.
with no sports. So yeah, that must have been a strange time to be a student athlete.
Yeah, it definitely messed up a little bit with the scholarships because some students got granted a COVID year, like a fifth year to play because of COVID. So it was up to them, to those players, to see if they wanted to stay another year. So that definitely had its challenges, I think.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Now for the sport of volleyball, with Team USA getting the gold medal in Olympics on the ladies' side, is there any volleyball player that you study, or do you pretty much just play the game and go home at the end of the day? Are you a
Right.
student of
So
the game?
No, I am a student of the game since I started playing. I was a huge fan of, I remember when I first started playing, I was a huge fan of Penn State volleyball and the USA volleyball players. A lot of them that were in the gold medal match on the Olympian team, I grew up watching, and it's crazy because they've been playing for so long and they finally got to get their first medal in the history of women's volleyball in the USA. So that was really cool to watch. But there is one player, she plays for Italy. Her name is Paola Iganu. Um, she's amazing, probably the best player I've seen. She plays my position, so it's really like someone I get to look up to, and she's really
Is
great.
she half Nigerian? The last name sounds like West African to me.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
African. Yeah, she's great. Huge fan.
shout outs to Paola then. Shout outs to her. Shout outs to Italy. But
Yeah,
Team USA got to go.
I know.
um now Iman, you know, like give us your honest feedback as far as student athletes on a high school level
Mhm.
that have dreams of someday competing at the college level in volleyball. What are some of the tips and real world advice that you could get? Like, don't sugarcoat anything. Give us the raw and uncut.
All right. Real world advice is you can do anything you set your mind to, but it takes a lot of discipline and a lot of work ethic, honestly. You have to just stick to your goals and be consistent. I think also it's important to be balanced in both the academic side and the sports side. You have to, because volleyball, playing with any sport in high school or college prepares you for life after the sport. But just having that balance just helps you become a better player and like perform better both in school and in whatever sport you're playing. And I think, yeah, my biggest tip is just to be disciplined, because if you have goals, you can definitely attain them. But yeah, also another tip is communicate to whatever school you have interest in. Have that conversation with your parents, have that conversation with yourself. Is, do you think it's something you are willing to commit to? Because it is a full commitment. It's not like, oh, maybe playing college volleyball would be fun. Like, that sounds fun. No, it's really almost like a job, but it's also very enjoyable if you like it. So if you love it, commit to it, you can do it. But yeah.
Amen to that. Now take us, you know, let's backtrack a little bit to when you were finishing up in high school. What was the recruiting process like for you and your family when different colleges came knocking on the door, so to speak?
Right. So um, I got recruited through club volleyball. I remember when you first start out in the recruiting process, you can start really young. And I know now it's kind of changed to where a lot of athletes create social media accounts like Instagram where they upload their videos and stuff. I'm very glad I didn't have to do that. But when I started out, I would email college coaches simply stating my interest. I would attach like a highlight reel. And I think a big key that I hear from my coaches when they talk about recruiting is to make a highlight reel where it's short and like just very compact. So 30 seconds of this, 30 seconds of another skill, and just really short so that they can click through it, because they get a lot of emails. So I say reach out to as many college coaches as you're interested in. And then eventually that transcends to phone calls. You get to communicate with them, get to know them, they get to know you. And then if they're also interested, and if you're still interested, you will like plan out visits to go see that college, visit the campus, you know, that sort of thing. And they changed the rules a little bit after my year. I think you can take visits on your own, but with the coach, like you can take visits on your own at any time, but with the coaches, I think that's after junior year. I might be wrong, but it's changed a little bit. But yeah, I would definitely start out with communicating with them, posting videos online, and just reaching out to as many people as you can.
Okay, so uh, our young student athletes have to apply themselves, you know,
Yes.
and
If you
and
want
it's
to, go get it.
it's you got to apply yourself. You
Yeah.
know, it is what it is. It's amazing how you're a college All-American, but even you still had to apply yourself. So
Yeah, for sure.
now, what made you choose um, psychology? Were there other majors that you kind of had like on a list, and then you narrowed it down to like 2 or 3, and then psychology was like the last winner?
So for me, I've kind of had like my life planned out since I was young. I've always known what I wanted to do. Psychology interested me mostly because my mom studied that, and so did my sister. And I always have been like interested in the mind, how it works. And I wanted to be a therapist when I was younger. And so I was thinking this is something I'm really interested in, but there are definitely so like once I got to college, I realized I actually don't know what I want to do. Like there's so many options, there's so many interesting majors that I've explored personally my first year. I'm also really interested in sociology because it's like how people work. It's like all the social sciences are super interesting to me. And I also really like communication. So that's might be another route I will be taking. And also maybe adding an African American studies minor or film, TV, media minor. There's just a lot of options. So I definitely need to start picking and narrowing that down. But yeah.
It's good to have options, and like I tell some of the viewers that do send DMs out there, keep your options open. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. So
Yeah.
definitely appreciate that.
And my biggest tip in that like regard is that your first year you take a lot of general education courses, and that's like your opportunity to really try out different things. I almost thought I was gonna major in like environmental sciences. I took a class on that and it was super interesting. But yeah, there's such a wide variety that it's like come in with an open mind and then you'll find what you like and you'll go through that.
Excellent. Now on the physical side, with D1 sports programs and their athletic programs, the strength and conditioning going to higher and higher levels. Do you guys do plyos as part of your strength and conditioning, or how does that look like for volleyball at UCLA?
So we have really great trainers. We do a lot of weightlifting, like squats, deadlift, things to improve like your explosiveness and speed. So we focus a lot on that, but we also definitely do plyos as more of like a warm up because that like plays a part in our sport, like volleyball, jumping, running, and stuff like that.
You guys measure your vertical leaps, or
We
you keep
do.
that top secret classified?
We do, but we do it like it's a part of our training program where we do jumps and it measures your vertical, but I'm not exactly sure how accurate that is, but we don't measure it how normal verticals are measured.
Okay. And one pressing question for our high school volleyball players. Now, there's a lot of programs on social media, on the regular internet, like the Vertimax machine, like $5,000 expensive machines. Now, what are some affordable ways for our aspiring volleyball players to build their explosiveness and jumping ability?
Right. I've done the Vertimax at my old clubs. I don't think you should go out and buy these really expensive machines unless like your club provides it or you know a facility that does. But some more affordable options are finding either a trainer. Like I know there's it depends what area you're in, but in my area, there was a great volleyball like personal trainer that did groups of volleyball athletes, and she's really great. But also outside of that, you can definitely do your workouts like at home, get some resistance bands, go to the gym, use the resources at your high school too. But look up, you just do research. Cause I remember I would look up how to increase my vertical on Google. So many, like there's great options, especially now that there's like TikTok, like Instagram, and people are posting content on things like that. Like the resources are there, so just use those and just commit to doing those things like as much as possible. I've had a teammate who was telling me that her sister, like when she was younger, her sister had like she would always make her do like these jump series every day, and she told me that her vertical increased so much. So it's just like that consistency can really get your vertical to increase a lot.
Consistency, repetition, like you said, the information, at least nowadays, is out there. It's just up to people to do the research.
For sure.
And with each guest that we have, we like to get them to do a little bit of critical thinking. So if Iman Ndiaye was to do a life story movie on herself,
Okay.
What would be the title, and which actress would play her and why?
Oh, wow, that's a loaded question. Actress, I don't know.
Put
Trying
you
to
on the spot.
Um, that's a tough question. I don't know that many actors' names. Okay, let's do movie title. I'd say Life of a Champion because that is what I aspire to be. And I think it would just show my journey, obstacles I've overcame. Now actress, I don't know that many people that look like me really, but um, that's a tough question. I don't know. I might have to pass on that.
And you know, one day we'll revisit that when you make the
Yes,
Olympic team and you're
right.
on the podium with Team USA.
Then I'll let you know.
You know, then you let me know.
Yeah.
Now, you made an interesting point. I had three actors or actresses on this podcast recently on Heavy Brand Podcast here, and one particular actress, her parents are from Sierra Leone,
Right.
but she was born and raised in Los Angeles, California. Interesting, I think she has a bachelor's degree in psychology, but she was saying how she first started off as a runway model, and there's not a lot of runway models of color,
Right.
and she experienced like a lot of overt racism and discrimination, and even in the movie industry it's also challenging. So moving forward, I really hope we start getting more people of color into more prominent roles so that our young ladies can refer back to actresses that they can relate to or refer back to. So yeah.
100%. Yeah. I think representation matters a lot. Seeing someone that looks like you, like on any media is really important because then you'll know like, oh, this is something I can do myself. So yeah, I hope so for the future as well.
And in the meantime, you're doing just fine. Doing your thing, from Paris, France to Los Angeles, California. That's a movie within itself, right there. I'm just putting it out there, ever decided to come up with a movie, you heard it here first on Heavy Brand Podcast.
Yes, I will definitely credit you for that
one. Now, not to go too far ahead, but once your name starts going out there more, being a college American, of course, you might get asked like, what kind of social justice issues or topics do you have that you want to bring awareness to? We had one recent guest. She's a Jamaican actress, and she wanted to bring awareness to mental health because it's a subject that's often overlooked in Jamaica. So go for it.
I have a couple of things I'm passionate about. Number one, environmental racism, I think, or environmental injustice, especially for people of color and those in poverty, because it's getting worse. And that's something that I've learned a lot this past year. And then another thing, definitely mental health for athletes and Black women and just the Black community in general. And then my third, my mind is blanking currently.
That's a good thing. It means you're critically thinking. So that's good.
Okay, you got me. Yeah. And then, okay, that's all I have for now. But yeah.
Okay, so environmental racism, environmental justice. As far as like your 5-year future outlook, what's on your bucket list? What's on your list of goals?
Goals. I really would love to like just in volleyball or what or in broad
everything off on and off the court.
Okay. So one of my goals is to leave UCLA with a national championship. Another goal, I would love to I enjoy writing. I would love to get more involved in my school through that and explore that like creative process. So maybe getting my writings out. Another thing, graduate, do well in school, um, give back to my community while I'm here. And then for 5, I think one of my goals is just to impact people in a positive manner. I like mentoring. That's a big thing I'm doing right now. So just reaching back out to volleyball girls, any girls that are looking up to me, I want to be a good voice for them and good representation for them. So that's one of my goals too.
Excellent. And you're definitely far ahead of the schedule. I've been a youth counselor for years in Detroit, Michigan, and now in Denver, Colorado. And I just came up with this podcast only a year ago to do youth mentorship. So at you're what, 19, 20 years old?
19, yeah.
So you're far ahead of schedule. You're a great role model for our young for our student athletes, even just regular athletes. And as you're talking about sports and psychology, I'm thinking of sports psychology one day
Yeah.
when you're done with volleyball. Now, I want to thank you, Iman, obviously, for taking time out of your schedule to come on Heavy Brand Podcast. I'm looking forward to uploading the episode mainly on our Facebook page and also Instagram. I want to give a special shout out to UCLA, all their sports programs, especially the women's volleyball program, and we'll be following you and supporting you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This was fun.
Blessings.